Set up tag, Jimbo. Set up tag, Jimbo.
Next. And then it goes to, oh yeah, bracket, and then pick whatever one is supposed to go. Go back to the machine, so you can see it's in there.
Sorry, I'm good. Extra.
I'm gonna wait just real quick to see who we have up next.
over here.
It's been broken.
Okay, set up second, MVP.
So just type in punching bag.
Lioness. Set up seven,
I gotta go.
MVP.
Oh, okay. Well, we were on for a little bit, but it was still great to come in. Yeah. Hope to see you around again in future post-Calamity events.
It's almost there. Bam, tug it, and then you're good. Cool. And then it should automatically save.
Swap players.
So we have Punching Bag versus Codename. On the Roy. We'll see which Fire Emblem character here comes out on top for this round one. Punch versus Fortamic. Nair is such a crucial tool for pretty much all Roys. They get advanced with that either there just to keep pretty much walk their opponent out to the ledges. A little bit more of that far away gameplay, but here comes Punching Bag, charging a little bit, but mistimes a L Thunder, I believe. Just throws the sword at him. Still not enough. Punching Bag finally gets stage control, looking for the Arc Fire ledge trap set up, but great patience from Fortamic to avoid it. Great fair, but again, Fortamic just waiting patiently, knows he's going to get hit by that. Or rather, Punching Bag, I'm sorry. Gets the half charge, but it will be canceled out from a back air. Fortamic claiming first stock, but hot on his heels. Sending out with L Thunder, double L Thunder takeout. And Punching Bag is right back in this, but a beefy little combo there from, I believe, back air to forward smash. 38 damage on, but I think no Feratu, right? Some kind of Feratu on that grab. Sucking away the life force of Roy. Sucking away stage control from him as well, but is able to get back from a little bit of a misread. Punching Bag was expecting a hop probably. That's why it was on platform. And Arc Fire providing safe haven for the Robin as well. No tech option will send Punching Bag right back out to that right side. And now Fortamic knows that any time she's sent out at pretty much at mid stage, going to send in the Arc Fire to cover high, and she's going to drop low. See right there, even though it didn't connect, she was looking to edge to guard the edge with the Arc Fire. Rolling around, but you're stuck on platform. That just leads to an up air from the Roy. Fortamic one stock away from claiming the first round, but Charger right ahead again, trying to find that tried and true setup. But again, Fortamic way too aware of it and trying to charge ahead. A little bit misplacement. Still getting stage control. Patient gameplay that sorties are known, a la Marth and Lucina. But he get back to stage. He knows he's up 2-1. He can take as much time as he needs. Much like before, the pressure situation from the Robin. Punching Bag, not going to take it with that, I believe, fair? Don't see a whole lot of Robins. Cancels it out. An attack shield, and looking for that raw forward smash. Not going to hit. Up throw, no conversions off that. Too much damage on, sent too far. Gets the burst off the jab, very nice. 86. She really, or Punching Bag, or Robin rather, she, but Punching Bag, he has to find these combos Robins are known for, but Fortamic not giving him any stage control to set up those combos. And a simple tilt will take him out. Roy's tilts being so lethal. And you have to expect them. A punching bag couldn't avoid them whether he expected them or not. And that'll cinch the first round for Fortamic. Going in round 2. Like I said, punching bag does play a good assortment of characters. So we'll see if he's thinking to swap to anything, especially with the hop to Pokemon Stadium 2 now. I'm going to stick with the Robin. All right. Hopefully he's learned something to keep himself in this game. We'll see how it unfolds here. Round 2, Pokemon Stadium 2. Here we go. You gotta call. Much like the same, Roy's just constant pressure with the and fairs make it hard for Punching Bag to get any grounding for her combos to start up. Let's jab in. And really just the way the Roy's playing, you know, they're very hyper-aggressive because they want to get that nair and fair. It's not leaving a whole lot of space for Punching Bag to get those setups started. But a little bit of a hit underneath stage, unexpected for Fortamic goes down on first stock.
And that is a big problem, Mini Boss. Yes, do the announcer here, by the way. That is a big problem, especially when you're Roy, because you know how to deal with those situations when you're in the advantage, but sometimes there's little tags that underneath the stage, they can mean death for you, but when you're in control, and indeed grabs the steering wheel away from Punching Bag and takes the second stock off the back air. Yeah,
it seems the problem that Punching Bag has is the suffocation that Roy can besiege upon you, really. Just the way he's suffocating with nair and fair off stage. He followed that up off stage with a back air stock claim, and much like on stage where Punching Bag couldn't get combo started, she couldn't get her recovery or any sort of attack to mess up Fortamic's assault in any way. So he's just getting assaulted on both fronts. So he has to find some way to beat out this Roy and quick.
I mean, the only way that you really can do it is to space him out, but Roy can get in and out so quickly.
Exactly.
I mean, you might get camped in relation, just because, I mean, when you're Robin, just in relative terms, Robin is a little quicker in this game, but man, it's like you're playing with your feet glued to the ground. What a beautiful tech to save his own life and to try to get himself back into advantage, but that back air, there is no Bag showing a willingness to combat Roy in the air and clean up his trash, and indeed puts that one right in the recycling bin.
111 though, he's very poised to take a stock, but seems that Punching Bag has learned something, but he hasn't learned to avoid that fair. One more time, one stock down, and he is on winner side stock, potentially.
Absolutely lethal coming out from Fortamic, and as Punching Bag sits on his winner side stock, something needs to be done. No Levin Sword with which to these aerials, at least for a little bit longer until it is back online, which it is. Needs to get back into advantage first. No reason for Fortamic to go under the stage.
Finally gets in, but back and forth on shield. Roy finally edges it out, but he's got to be careful when landing like that because Roy, much like I was talking about other sorties, they know their spacing, and if they can space out right, that's just another fair or even a wild forward smash that we see Roy's do so much, and that'll definitely claim at this percent.
Uses the Levin Sword to draw out a shield, and then a quick little tag after that, but cannot follow it up. Now all of a sudden, Fortamic smelling blood in the water. Yo, he went for it all with the up B, the roll of the dice, but he craps out, and Punching Bag walks away the beneficiary. It's 1-all.
Yeah, collect those chips, but hold on. The guy's calling you back. You got one more round to play. You're not out of the casino just yet.
You ain't cashing out just yet, buddy. You gotta take one more roll of the die.
It's a casino. You're not allowed to cash out when you want. You're not allowed to humiliate the house like that, as it were.
It makes you wonder, however. I mean, because Punching Bag, it seemed like he was becoming a little. Read reliant as the game went on. As we go to Battlefield for game number 3, I can only imagine that this favors Roy, but Punching Bag will have to to negotiate it nonetheless. But as mentioned prior, Mini-Boss, relying a little bit too much on those grabs at ledge. We saw him break out the Nosferatu, almost trying to predict where he was going to land.
Oh, but he bounced him up! Yeah.
Fortamic, yeah, he held on to every last jump he had, and that's exactly what you need to do. That's the one thing that Robin gives you. And Fortamic, he'll have to come up with more of those cheeky plays if he wants to hang on to these stocks.
And the way I saw that punching bag was semi-adapting off the stage. Normally he'd send out arc fire and drop low, but instead he would he would stick with the mid to high recovery and try to spike with the up B of Robin. And where Roy suffers is his recovery. Even though it can do very well at points, it's also a huge disadvantage for him. And getting sent out 136, but not challenging all that much. Punching bag is just going to let him get right back on stage, and roles reversed.
And that's a questionable decision to me, Mini-Boss, because you know that he has to get back on ledge. He can't just hang on or else he's going to get burnt by that fire. And if you let him have just a little bit of space, he will rear his head and bite, and away goes that first stock.
Wow.
Punching Bag does respond back, but I do feel like the attitude of the second stock has been set, and that's something that Punching Bag is going to have to fight against.
Absolutely, yeah. He seems better poised to do so, but Fortamic, you know, being that up close and personal at the way he won round one, he seems not to be borrowing from another book at all, as he's challenging that low recovery. And but gets spiked
oh
for
my
efforts.
goodness!
No!
Get got, says Punching Bag. Beautifully done. Catches the up B. And who'd have thought that Robin would have won in a straight-up aerial sword fight?
Right. And it really, again, it was that hyper-aggressive Roy playstyle that we're all accustomed to. And that one moment where Punching Bag realized that he could trade the stage position around and get the spike in the end. And that's why he's up right now. So solid work for him.
When you have 11 sword, you use the goddamn 11 sword.
Correct. And especially low shield, too. He's going to have to sit back and recover it a little bit. But Punching Bag right now, he doesn't have to pressure, but he sort of needs to keep up this advantage in stocks that he has right now.
Fortamic making it back to the stage, but seems to be having trouble negotiating the movement of Punching Bag, who's feeling a little bit more comfortable, playing a bit more freely, it seems like. Goes low, as you do. Fortamic can't really challenge under the stage, but eventually he has to come back up, and we'll take Punching Bag's last stock for it.
And there goes that narrative fair train. Solid 32 on, and another combo will make them pretty much even. Dancing Blade will just barely squeak there, maybe 7% off.
Yeah, no, this is very doable for Punching Bag. Gonna have to be cheeky with his movement. Levin Sword, not so much use that he's gonna get out of that unless he has some sort of spike in mind.
Fortamic being a little more in reserve, but it's not going to be enough in the reserve tanks. And Punching Bag squeaking by, reversing it 2-1 in the end. Wow.
Beautifully done by Punching Bag in order to get things done. But Fortamic, it felt like he was starting to pick up, garner just a little bit more momentum.
Right.
Unfortunately, just not able to hold on to it. And that move, which I felt like was DI-able, Mini-Boss.
To an extent, I want to say yes. If he perhaps DI'd down more, he might have been able to avoid the blast zone. But, you know, it's all hearsay in hindsight for us. But, you know, that's what we saw back here. And, I mean, just the way that Fortamic, he was on his last stock, so he was playing a little bit more, you know, reserved and defensive. He wasn't pressuring a whole lot, Punching Bag. And I guess Punching Bag found that opening and realized that the defensive nature of Roy because of the last stock, and he pressed his advantage to the fullest. And he's going to be moving on because of it.
So coming up next is CoJam, another familiar face. For those of you who have watched We Bear Bears back when it was here on Bros Calamity, and this is, yes, indeed, the first Codename Bears, the first weekly here at the laboratory in Hatboro that's being broadcast right back here on the home of Philadelphia Smash Brothers, twitch.tv/bros_calamity. CoJam, as we know, was pretty adept with a couple of characters in Smash 4. We saw him break out the Diddy Kong every now and then. Here, going Inkling against Project AEX. Breaking out the Marth, interestingly enough. Yeah, very unusual pick just in the grand scope of Smash. Usually you see the Lucina trumping the Marth in terms of the picks. And it's just because some people don't want to have to, you know,
rely on the whole tipper connection. Some people don't want to have in their mind, and they just want to play the game that's in front of them. But so far, keeping it even though he's full coat on the Inkling. AEX keeping toe-to-toe right now with CoJam. Right now taking stage control as well. Looking, the up B going to cut his attempted edge guard short. But pretty surprising he was actually fighting the Inkling off stage, because those jets potentially could send Marth out in the way he wasn't expecting. So a little bit of a fearless nature for him, but he is still locking down stage control, locking down to edge control as well. But can't seem to get that tipper hit in that will claim the stock. CoJam surging forward, back on stage.
It's going to be so hard to get that on the ground, because especially against Inkling, you are so comfortable moving in and out that you have no reason to move within range of that tipper, or really if you're within range, you have no reason to just come in and try to defy him with an attack of your own.
Just like that.
With the startup of the up B, that has more of a hitbox, fun fact, in this game than it does in Splatoon. So.
Man knows all about that, I bet, huh?
Oh, yeah. Hey, your boy's a kid in the squid. He
Absolutely.
already knows. But Project AEX, be sure to tune in tomorrow for Switch. Got Milana and PK Sparks coming in. But
nice.
Nonetheless, AEX does tie it up. No competitive Fire Emblem 3 houses, but nonetheless, we got AEX showing out for I don't know what house he picked, to be completely honest. I don't know what the houses are. I'm not a weeb.
I haven't bought the game. I haven't played the game. So you're asking the wrong person, unfortunately.
Fair enough. Either way, dash grab in, so good on Inkling. I mean, one of the few characters in which grab, you could say, is a really stable tool. And back air.
Trying to get that counter hit. Maybe showing his hand a little too much. AEX has to find another way to get this pressure that CoJam is just relentlessly putting on this Marth. Finally finds his way with fair, or F-tilt rather.
AEX and CoJam. This is a strange to think that this is a round 2 matchup, but I have to think that this is perhaps a preview of the Arcadian, which is coming on November 9th. Two very strong contenders. Yeah, this is Philly. We tech those, baby.
Right.
However, you can't tech the Blast Zone, unfortunately, and CoJam.
That would be a broken game if you could.
Some might argue that it is already, but nonetheless,
you're not wrong.
Down
sure.
throw, gonna try to get a little bit more of a combination out of it, but again, Marth just having trouble comboing, and this is a bit. There are a lot of problems with Marth in this game. AEX is making him work, but that cannot be ignored.
Yeah, for sure. Especially with the way that Inkling can coat the enemy. Really, I mean, Marths know how to play that micro-spacing game, but if you give Inkling to do that, you're just going to eat a lot more damage than expected. Looking for that forward smash hit, and because of the lag, CoJam going to convert to a squid and find his way around the AEX and able to send out on stock. But 113, he has to get a lot of ink on and a lot of conversions, a lot of combos to even have a hope of winning this round.
And this is doable, but AEX more than content with piling on some damage.
Especially with that counter, though, it's going to be a lot easier for AEX to break out of those combos.
I'm not really sure what the purpose of the Splat Bomb is there. I mean, aside from catching AEX off guard, but he's been doing that pretty consistently above ledge. I'm not really seeing AEX being caught off guard unless some of his habits change going into game number 2. Up tilt will be employed. The up smash, I mean, I don't see that connecting at all in this game, just considering it's not a very good move, to be completely honest. One of the main problems that Marth has.
And that should claim it. Yep.
There you go. The up throw at 183 does, in fact, kill a child Inkling. And, and it will be AEX taking game number 1. Now, obviously, the problems with Marth were somewhat in that game, but there are some other things that some people just really have a problem with Marth in this game. And I'm not even talking about playing against it. Just there is a big problem killing with this character, connecting, converting on tippers. And for some reason, some of these moves, these up smash, like the up smash and the tippers, they just don't kill the way that they used to. And I can foresee that being a problem for a lot of people. Even though people like MKLeo have tried to make it work, we don't see it that much, and I can see why.
Yeah, really, and even just because of that, the sour spots do connect because of the tipper not connecting. that just leads for a free follow-up, especially against a character that is very fast, like Inkling. And you don't want to be eating as much damage, because Inkling does have smash attacks that will work. And especially led up with something like Roller, which we haven't from CoJam as of yet. I think I saw it maybe once or twice in the last round. But if he starts to use it a lot more, we could see it. I'm debating whether AX plays an aerial Marth as much as a grounded one, and debating if the Roller will be able to catch him a lot more frequently. We do see an attempt there, but he was able to simply jab and keep it out.
Yeah, and that might be the big difference, especially when you're just coming to fighting on flat ground, is might just come down to who can get their conversions, because, I mean, the term Marthritis comes from this character. And but let's be real, Inkling got it. Unless you got them roller combos on deck, it is hard to kill consistently with this character unless you get those falling up airs.
Yeah, and we saw an attempt there with the Roller, but and again, the sour spot up the up smash.
Again?
Both, yeah.
And it is a powerful move when it connects, but man, getting that consistently is a task and a half.
And the Roller from CoJam, I think before it was able to ground, but he's able to convert with a back air off the right side. 142, but a simple shield pierce. We'll just say, calm down, CoJam. Sit down and let's go to stocks.
And indeed they do, having no choice but to do so, for being completely honest. Dolphin Slash piles him up to 44%. Nice little combo ender, and a neat little one to start things off as well with the jab. Missing on the forward smash, but CoJam quick to pick his back up, and that's been one of his calling cards.
Oh my god!
Excuse me!
Well, we were talking about the tippers, and there it is on full display. Cinching stock claims before we did it.
That is some Philly smash for you, right in your face. Just pop them. Almost as bad as I popped that microphone, I apologize, but let me just move it away from my mouth real quick. And interrupts the down smash. CoJam not quite quick enough on the trigger finger.
Using that down tilt so effectively, too. Knowing that CoJam wants to charge on the ground, not resorting to the nair. A really solid nair that Inkling has, but nowhere in sight. Up on it, 1-2 stock claim, making it a 2-0 in the second round. Dominantly claiming that set.
Sweeping 2-0 victory, capped off with a sweep of the sword. And Marth, you know what? We might have been talking a little bit of smack about it, but it's showing out here at Codename Bears.